Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to cover these 10 pillars that I have used in every single business I've had to make multiple 7 figures. We're going to go through each one of them so that you can install them into your business, make them work for you, and make 6, 7 figures, whatever you want to make. So let's get into it. So first of all, these pillars are our deliverables. These are our deliverables when I was a personal trainer, when I was an online coach, when I was a gym owner, and these are the pillars that we use to make sure that we stay aligned with our values, aligned with our brand, and to deliver on the promise that we make our clients. So let's get into it. Pillar number 1 is excitement. Now let me read this short description that explains the pillar in detail. Excited clients show up, engage, and play the game. Every month they should be on the edge of their seats to see what's coming up next in the service. Now think about that. When it comes to coaching fat loss, muscle gain and stuff like that, there's always a long process, but it gets to a certain point, especially for the average person who just likes going to the gym and feeling better. Getting more workouts, doing more workout days, kind of doesn't really give them much of an excitement anymore. It's just kind of like, I'm happy with this. What do we then do? Do we say, okay, on you go, leave the service? Now, there's a lot of critics who say that personal training, you shouldn't have a personal trainer forever. I disagree, because I think that if you create a community of like-minded people, it can be the best part of someone's life, like quite literally. So take, for example, the average person who is in a working environment that they don't like to be part of. Maybe they'll just do their job and they leave. But there's a lot of mood hoovers in that workplace. Then they go home, their partners, everything's good with their partner, but they don't have a community of people to lift them up, to understand them, and really just this kind of like impartial group of people that know what they're going through. Because when you understand what people are going through, it makes you feel so much better about your situation, because otherwise you feel like you're a failure, or you feel like you should be dealing with stuff better. But being surrounded by people in a similar journey to you makes you feel 10 times better, and it stops you comparing yourself to stuff out there that you don't actually have all the context with. So back to my point, when it comes to excitement, especially to ensure that clients continue to stay and pay and love your service, you need to provide excitement. Now what this isn't is just changing training plans all the time. This is creating something in your service whereby every single month there is new updates, features, things to get excited about. Think about, client community stuff. Think about upgrades in the service. So for example, I've recently just launched our new pipeline for the month ahead, where we're releasing all these upgrades and trainings to the service for online coaches and gym owners. And they were buzzing. I film a video every single month and I release it with all the stuff that's coming. And it makes those clients want to stay and pay because they cannot wait for it. So that is pillar number 1, excitement. Pillar number 2, and arguably one of the most important parts of recurring revenue, if not the most important, it's retention. You want a minimum client retention of 80%. This should be measured when all clients have had a price increase. I have a conversation with coaches and they're like, yeah, my retention's great. And I'm like, okay, when was the last time you done a price rise? 3 years ago. And I'm like, your retention's not great, you're just cheap. Okay, so you want to aim for an 80% retention rate. Obviously, different businesses vary. Online coaching, it might not be as good as a gym owner, for example. If you're a gym owner and your retention is lower than 80%, you can quite literally double your revenue if you just fix your retention. And yet you're out there with marketing agencies who are running cheap ads for you, 6-week challenges and stuff like that. And that's never going to cover the cracks of your poor retention. So pillar number 2 for any business, any service business, is retention. Pillar number 3 is ascension. You're installing tiers in your program to cater for clients who are high earners and they want more features than others. So I'll give you a perfect example of this. We have got our accelerator program, which is just a course for brand new coaches who are kind of struggling to get to 15 clients. That course, they buy that course, they work through the modules because they only need to know the fundamentals of business. They buy that, they get to 3K per month, and then they graduate to a top table program inside the agency. From there, we take coaches from 3K to 6 and 7K, basically doubling their monthly recurring revenue. But in that time, they need more hands-on support. They need more things from you. They need more collaboration, consultancy. They need higher level frameworks to get that double MRR. But then there's another level. There's a level of people who get to sort of 7K and they want to get to 15, 20K. Now what that requires is different things. Different levels require different things. So for example, you're going to start hiring team members. You're going to have to build more complex systems. You're going to have to start getting more eyeballs on your stuff, whether that's earning it or paying for it. So all these things require different levels of support, different frameworks, and ultimately a different level that you have to pay higher to get to. So it is crucial for any recurring revenue business to have that ascension, to have something for people to aim towards, because it goes back to excitement. If you can give people future to head towards that, that's their North Star. So they're working all the way through that. Now, a perfect example of this in fat loss and fitness is like, can you imagine getting someone in who's just like, I just want to lose fat? And you say to them, well, Look, most of our clients end up going on to doing a Hyrox or a photo shoot or this or that. And you go, I could never do that. It's like, never say never. And then you give them that belief in the first 8 to 12 weeks, but they just know there's a long-term thing coming. Now, you don't ram goals down people's throats, but you give them a roadmap. This could also be things like, 5 unassisted pull-ups. It could be double your body weight in back squats, that type of thing. And that's the key to ascension. Now, for fitness plans and stuff like that, they maybe don't have to go to a high-level program, but there are some people out there who have got money, who want you to themselves. They don't want to be part of a community or whatever. And it's up to you if it's within your, if this is the way you want to fulfill your service. But people want a higher tier of things. It's the same with everything. People will pay for quicker delivery. They'll pay for status as well. So we have an elite level program where we have about 15 coaches in there, and they're high level coaches who just want a bit more time with me. They want to use our paid ad service as well. They want bigger brainstorming stuff, and they want to head for the moon. So that requires a different level, which means they have to work towards that and eventually graduate towards that. So that's what you need in your recurring revenue business. It's pillar number 3, ascension. Pillar number 4 is something that you won't see on most business coaches' pillars or deliverables, but it's certainly in ours, and it is authenticity. We lead with unapologetic authenticity, inspiring others through honesty, vulnerability, and integrity. Think about that. This is part of our whole MRR agency brand values. Unapologetic authenticity, inspiring others, honesty, vulnerability, and integrity. That guides us. So what we often do with these pillars is we will score ourselves on them. So we'll come in and go, the business is a bit, how can we get to the next level? And we'll score ourselves on these pillars and be like, well, this one's a bit lacking. I could look at my content recently and go, is this authentic to me being the marketer, like the delivery, like how I'm delivering these videos and content? Is it authentic to me? Because you know what it's like when you run a business, you start to lose yourself for a while just because you take a lot of stuff on subconsciously. So number 4 is authenticity. Are you truly authentic with the way you conduct your business? Number 5 is profitability, the cousin of retention. How profitable are you? And the old famous quote is, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. Most business coaches cannot even tell you their client's profitability because they don't ask them. They don't push it because it unveils a whole host of problems. But ultimately, they'll push these 10k months, 15k months, but they'll never ask about profit. And at the end of the day, profit is the thing that you take back. I've actually got an extra note on this, right? You may want to write this down. It's actually my wallpaper background. Profit is the king of business metrics. Revenue is the queen. You can have one without the other. Revenue comes first, but not all revenue is created equal. The best type of revenue recurs. It arrives regularly in predictable amounts. Recurring revenue is the most stress-free way to operate. So I might look at a revenue at the end of the month and go, oh, amazing, look at this, they're brilliant, and I'll go and make staff decisions. When it's like, no, what's the profit? Now we're on to pillar number 6, which is community. Clients sign up from your marketing, they get results from your coaching, and they stay for the community. Think about that. Put all the marketing out there. This is what a lot of coaches do. They get good at marketing, good at running ads and things like that. Some of them are good at coaching, but they never create a community that makes people want to stay. So I go back to the excitement pillar as well. It's like people want to be part of something. You look at Hyrox, one of the biggest things you can take from Hyrox's growth is the community they've built. You look at any business in the fitness industry that's done well, Gymshark, they all have a ridiculously loyal community, and you need to create that for your business. I'll tell you one that you probably won't like to hear. Slimming World. Slimming World has a better community than most of the coaches out there that are slagging it. And it's like, because Janice gets to go and see Tracy on a Tuesday night and they all know her name and stuff like that. Their dieting and training methods, very questionable. Training methods don't even have any. Their dieting methods, very questionable. Their whole ethos, most of us don't agree with. But they have a better community than you. And I always say that if there's a business that's bigger than you can always take a lesson from them. Next up is systems. Systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. So systems is this taboo subject for the inexperienced business owner. I like to call them, they call themselves coaches when they should be coaches and business owners. And systems is this like taboo word. It's like, I don't know what to do. Is it all these logins and all these things I need to think about? Systems have never been easier to install. And the fact of the matter is, if you want to build a business that makes you time rich and financially rich and you love it and enjoy it, you need systems working for you. And the chances are right now, if you're watching this and you're pretty stressed and burnt out, you have flawed systems. It's probably not your price point or all these other things. It's your working environment or your gym you're in. It's probably your systems that are poor. So you need to fix them. And it's so important to make sure that systems in a week buy you back 15 to 20 hours a week. Pillar number 8 is fulfillment. So we can do all of this stuff, but we need to fulfill the service that we promise. The way to achieve success is not by doing more, but by doing better. Focusing on delivering outstanding client fulfillment. Tony Robbins. A lot of people are stressing about, oh, you know, I need to do this marketing technique and I need to say this in DMs and stuff like that. Just make your product so ridiculously good, marketing becomes easier. I'd probably butcher this quote, but someone said, like, great marketing makes a bad product fail faster. Think about that. So I love marketing. But like if your product doesn't match up to the hype in the marketing, then it's going to fall flat in its face. Now I liken this to like influencers out there who are online coaches, who are great at posting content, great at getting reach and attention, but you know their service is diabolical. It's a $6.99 app, or it's a terrible coaching thing where they pass them on to people. Now this fulfillment piece is especially true in the business coaching space. Like these guys with huge audiences are just flinging you in a community group, barely speaking to you. You're never having a one-to-one call with the business owner, and that to me is not a great product. You can buy into it because you're buying into the success of the influencer, but if you truly want the support and help that you need to install pillars like this, you need that one-to-one help, okay? And that's where the true fulfillment comes in from. You know, the service delivering it, but you receiving it. Now, the second last one, which is results. So you've done the fulfillment and now you get the results from the fulfillment. Most of these pillars fall flat in their face if you aren't getting world-class client results. That's it. You can build a community. You can be authentic online. You can look at your numbers every month with profit. You can try and move people up your tiers. But if you're not getting client results, it's the very thing that you say that you promise, it's your offer, then everything else becomes an absolute slog for you to do. So you need to obsess with how you deliver on the result that you promise. And last of all, pillar number 10 is sales. I know that's one of those things where coaches are like, oh, I don't like selling. You're a business owner, grow up. Make your back end as sexy as your front end. That's the philosophy here in the MRR agency, because we want your business to be built on 80% MRR, 20% sales. So we don't sell all the time, but when we do, we sell with conviction. And we make sure that our business is stable. And how you do that is make sure you have 80% of your revenue roundabout coming from recurring revenue. Whereas other business coaches are preaching high sales, very shit back end, where the most stressful back end ever, where you're kind of hardly got any recurring revenue, and it just sends you in this spiral of like the content hamster wheel, the emotional cycle, unpredictable revenue. You can't even plan for the future because it's so up and down. So that is the 10 pillars of monthly recurring revenue. Excitement, retention, ascension, authenticity, profitability, community, systems, fulfillment, results, sales, and excitement. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Go and audit your business on these 10 pillars. Go and have a look at areas, you know, score them from 1 to 10. That's what we do when we take a coach on board or service. Excitement, what is that out of 10? What would you say? Retention, and then score them. And whatever ones are the lowest, go and work on them and watch your business dramatically change. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'd love for you to go and share this with another coach, a gym owner or whatever. Subscribe because it helps us keep pushing, producing these videos. And I'd love to continue to create content in this office so that I can help coaches and personal trainers like you. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.